Hello, it's Patricia, welcoming you to episode 17 of the 5th series of the Haiku Pea Podcast. How are you all doing? We're all good here at Pea Towers. The weather is sunny but not too hot, and when I finish recording this podcast, I'm off for a lovely long bike ride over the hills of Zurich to see what's going on in the fields and woods around here. Perhaps I'll get a little inspiration for a few haiku too, like this one of mine from Modern Haiku in the summer of 2020. Church bells, the cowbells fade into. Church bells, the cowbells fade into. Now, if you're listening to this podcast when it comes out, you should be writing deep and meaningful haiku with horizontal and vertical axes. There's a workshop with Joshua Gage on the website, and our YouTube channel if you need a bit of help. If you're listening sometime in the future, check out the submission pages and see what we're up to. Don't be shy. Send us your submissions. We don't bite. Or perhaps you could write a haiku or senryu for our video prompt. There's a new one out on YouTube every month, and you can leave your poem in the comments and perhaps get it read on a podcast and put in the Poetry Pea journal. Have you listened to our other podcast recently? Poetry Pea Readings? There's a great new one out. Vandana Parashar, one of Poetry Pea's editing team, comes along for a chat. There's poetry and passion in that one. Do let us know what you think. So what's this podcast about? Well, this time I'd like to highlight the writing topic for October this year. That's 2022. We're going freestyle. You can write anything you want, as long as it's haiku or senryu, of course. Ideally, we'd love to read haiku and senryu which shows elements of what we've been doing this year. And to that end, I'm going to run through the topics and give you a few haiku that I hope will get your poetic juices flowing. So, what have I chosen? We'll start with colours. Ripe berries, the purpling of her fingertips. Ripe berries, the purpling of her fingertips. Kim Clue, from the Poetry Pea Journal, 1/22. Morning fog, with one brushstroke, blue sky. Morning fog, with one brushstroke, blue sky. Debbie Olson, A Kitsu Quarterly, Summer 2022. Blue January, a black dog howls the world apart. Blue January, a black dog howls the world apart. Bishy, in Shamrock, issue 46. Now the next topic we did was punctuation, with Alison Whipple. And I've chosen a few more to illustrate this point. Abacus. He counts Jupiter's moons again and again. Abacus. He counts Jupiter's moons again and again. Minal Sarosh, from the Poetry Pea Journal, 1/22. Sun sets early, and so, too, my eyelids. Sun sets early, and so, too, my eyelids. Sheer Haberman, from Bottle Rockets, issue 47. Teaching the Art of Dying, Fallen Sakura. Teaching the Art of Dying, Fallen Sakura. Veronica Zora Novak, from A Kitsu Quarterly, Summer 2022. The next topic we did was an homage to Kerouac, with the lovely Stanford M. Forrester. Looking for my earrings between the cracks, I find a ladybird. Looking for my earrings between the cracks, I find a ladybird. Claire Ninham, Poetry Pea Journal, 1/22. Up in my attic, the new ghosts pushing the old ghosts around. Up in my attic, the new ghosts pushing the old ghosts around. M. Shane Pruitt. Also from the Poetry Pea Journal, 1/22. Morning agenda. See Zeus, see Tom. Morning agenda. See Zeus, see Tom. Stamford M. Forrester, from his Haiku Manual of Icarus and Other Myths. And the following month, Debbie Piccologi came along to talk to us about speculative haiku. And we had a bumper issue that time. In the dark, the gentle rustle of your antennae, finding mine. In the dark, the gentle rustle of your antennae, finding mine. Adele Evershed, from the Poetry Pea Journal, 2/22. First holiday meal. My mother-in-law's tentacles in every dish. First holiday meal. My mother-in-law's tentacles in every dish. Julie Bloss Kelsey, from Starline, 37/2. Millipede, the feel of each leg down my throat. Millipede, the feel of each leg down my throat. Brian Rickett, from Otoroshi Journal, Volume 2, Issue 2, Summer 2022. A particularly horrible one there, thank you, Brian. And next we welcomed Roberta Beery to talk to us about using our memories in haiku. I want to forget the surprise of live maggots in grandmother's soup. I want to forget the surprise of live maggots in grandmother's soup. Robert Horrobin, from the Poetry Pea Journal, 2/22. After the viewing, a lone leaf on the conservatory floor. After the viewing, a lone leaf on the conservatory floor. Graham Duff, from Blithe Spirit, 32, Issue 1. Boutique Hotel, the tiny soaps and bath salts that please us. Boutique Hotel, the tiny soaps and bath salts that please us. Barry Levine, Akitsu Quarterly, Summer 2022. Keith Everts came along and gave us a workshop on the vulgar, the commonplace, and the taboo. It was quite a difficult topic to edit and a difficult topic for a lot of people to write about. But, in actual fact, it was a really, really fruitful experience for a lot of us. After her orgasm, silver dust floating in sunlight. After her orgasm, silver dust floating in sunlight. Mark Gilbert, Poetry Pea Journal, 2/22. And you may have noticed that I didn't include Kerouac in his own category. But you couldn't have a podcast talking about all the topics we've studied without a little bit from him, could you? So here he is, from his book of haikus. Tathagata neither loathes nor loves his body's milk or shit. Tathagata neither loathes nor loves his body's milk or shit. Jack Kerouac. Pissing in the snow outside my door, it makes a very straight hole. Pissing in the snow outside my door, it makes a very straight hole. Kobayashi Isa, translated by Robert Hass. Then, as I was reading through the journals, you might remember I discovered that we don't often use contrast in our haiku. it was quite difficult to find some examples for you, and I thought, therefore, it would be a good topic to have a go at. And here's a few more I found. Not getting my joke, but smiling anyway. The Stone Buddha. Not getting my joke, but smiling anyway. The Stone Buddha. Stanford M. Forrester, from Smiling Anyway. Retreating waves, I reclaim my place in the universe. Retreating waves, I reclaim my place in the universe. Vandana Parashar, Akitsu Quarterly, Summer 2022. Children's voices, long silences of evening light. Children's voices, long silences of evening light. Robert Smith. From Blithe Spirit, Volume 32, Number 1. And our latest guest, Joshua Gage, came along to talk to us about horizontal and vertical axes in our haiku, how we can make our haiku more deep and meaningful. And here are a few more examples. The peonies having fallen, we parted without regret. The peonies having fallen, we parted without regret. Hokusai, translated by R.H. Blythe, in his Haiku Volume 3, Summer and Autumn. Children's games, I reenact the Cold War with my sister. Children's games, I reenact the Cold War with my sister. Colette Kern, The Haiku Foundation, Literary Devices, Illusion. And one last one from me, which is unpublished, and when you hear it, you'll realise it probably never will get published. The oldest twerker in the stadium, a Judge home run. The oldest twerker in the stadium, a Judge home run. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little run through of the topics we've been looking at this year. I really enjoyed reading your work and have started putting my list of nominations for all the various awards together. And of course, I've started collecting ideas for next year's topics. If you have topics you'd really like to hear about, or write about, or be challenged with, do send me an email and let me know. So thanks to all of you for coming along and having a listen and keeping me company today. Check out the show notes for the poems I read and some links to other journals. And I'll see you soon for more original poetry. And the next time, it's going to be the Contrast Podcast. So until then, keep writing. And if I've left anything out of the show notes, do get in touch and let me know. An email would be lovely. Ciao!